Despite the satisfying feeling we get when we type anything into Google and receive thousands, millions, even billions of search results, searching isn't always easy. This video will guide you through strategies like narrowing, broadening, and other ways to troubleshoot your topic. Let's talk about narrowing first. Say you're interested in organ donors. Sure, you've already asked yourself, if I'm interested in people who donate things, what kinds of things am I interested in that they donate? And you've answered organs. That's great. But it's a topic that has many questions around it. For instance, are you interested in organ donors and opt-in or opt-out country systems? Organs and the black market? Organs and reasons for rejection? Human organs and pigs and Japan? Thanks to all these questions, you could probably write about 10 different papers. And great as it may be to know your topic is doable, it may be too doable. That's when you need to narrow. All those questions involve what we call Boolean operators, and, or, not. That can help you construct a narrower search that has a more refined set of results. And not are the terms best employed in narrowing, or will broaden your search, and we'll discuss that in the next section. Another option is using quotation marks to add precision. Writing organ donors in quotes instead of organ donors without quotes, or black market in quotes instead of black market without, can make a difference depending on the database you're using. And it's a good tip to have in mind if you need more exact phrasing, since it will force the database to look for the phrase rather than the individual terms. So let's play this out in an actual database. I'm going to search in HealthSource Nursing Academic Edition, one of the databases we have access to through the university libraries. When I search organ donors in this database, I have nearly 1,700 results. Think about your papers and how many sources your instructor usually expects you to have. It's probably closer to 10 than 2,000. So we can narrow our search now. Let's add rejection to the next search box below organ donors. I now have only 125 or so results. That's a big difference. If you were to use even as much as 10% of your search results in your search, this search would give you, say, 10 to 15 items. The initial search would have given you 170. The second search has a more appropriate quantity of results. The more ands you add to your search, the smaller the number of results you have. Let's talk about using not real quick. Not is useful when there's a certain context you know you aren't interested in. Here, that could be the black market or harvesting. Let's try one of these and see the difference from the first search. Use the drop-down menu to select not and type in the word surgery. Now I've gone from 1,700 results to under 1,400. It's less, but it's still a lot. Now we can try another few strategies for quick narrowing. Look at the left side of this page. Many databases now have options for limiting to what's available full text, to sources that are scholarly or peer-reviewed, which professors always like to see, and by date. Let's do this. Limit to what's available full text, what's scholarly, and what's been published since 2000. I've now gone from having 1,400 search results to under 500. That made a significant difference, and it was quick and easy. And I can still go further. I can look at a particular subject area and particular publications. These are both on the left-hand side of the results page too. I can see that organ donors has 322 results, but that the United States has 52, and medical ethics has 42. The New England Journal of Medicine has 62. So you see there are lots of ways to go about narrowing a search. Let's move on to broadening. Let's pretend your topic is, are genetically altered soybeans safe for consumers. You're feeling good because it's pretty precise, you're being specific, and you know your key terms. Let's stay in health source and change up our search terms. You try genetically altered soybeans and consumer safety. That's what you're looking for, right? And then you get the dreaded no results found. Uh-oh. So you say, maybe I'll try soybeans and consumers and genetics. I get 4 results, 3 from scholarly sources and 1 from a magazine or other non-scholarly source. Partly, we're probably not in the right database. Maybe we want to step away from health sciences and go for broader scientific databases, such as Science Direct. When I try Science Direct with the first search, genetically altered soybeans and consumer safety, I get 577 results. So selecting a database more relevant to your topic can be one option for broadening your search, just by choosing to search in more than one resource. In fact, every time you research, I'd recommend looking in more than one place for sources. This approach can help you find sources, perhaps critical sources, you'd not have found otherwise. You can even look at our databases by subject area to see which databases are good for your broad topic area, whether that's education, literature, physics, and so forth. Synonyms, or words with similar meanings to your keyword, can be a critical strategy too for broadening your search. When getting ready to start researching for a paper, presentation, or other project, it can be really useful to segment out your search terms so you can build a short list of synonyms. That helps prevent hitting a wall with your search, since you'll have options. For this topic, I might have a column for genetically altered soybeans and another column for consumer safety. In my genetically altered soybeans column, I might add genetically modified organisms, genetically modified crops, and GMOs. To my consumer safety column, I might add consumers, health risks, consumer concerns, health concerns, and more. This exercise may seem silly at first, but if your search proves troublesome, it's great to have handy, and it can also help you experiment with the Boolean operator OR. ORs are great to use when you want to show flexibility in certain search terms. For example, here, I might search genetically altered soybeans and consumer safety or health risks. This tells the database that I want it to find genetically altered soybeans as an exact phrase, as discussed in the narrowing section, and that I'd like the phrase consumer safety or the phrase health risks to also appear in the results along with genetically altered soybeans. Searching is a bit like putting items in a shopping cart this way. You can decide what item or items you want from different aisles using AND. You can decide what alternatives or substitutes you're willing to accept, or, and certainly you can get rid of results you don't want, not. Let's talk more broadly just about troubleshooting your searching. Here's a real-life example. A student wants to research whether completing a college education really does lead to more success, better quality of life, etc. On the surface, this isn't a terribly difficult-sounding question. We know there's been research done on this. We know it's a topic of interest to colleges and universities, and it's full of helpful buzzwords or keywords, like college education, graduation, success, quality of life. Yet the student couldn't find anything. So what would you do? What can you do? The student went to a librarian. They then spent 10 to 15 minutes searching, modifying their search, and thinking about how to get to the literature their gut instincts insisted was out there. Really, the problem here was that even though the question was well formed, the keywords were very popular, and because of that, our search results were very imprecise and not getting the actual topic of interest. Here are a few strategies that led to successful troubleshooting of this search conundrum. First, make that list of synonyms. Secondly, Always be on the lookout for typos in your search. Not all databases are like Google in that they won't necessarily have a "did you mean" message when they think you've misspelled something. And search boxes don't often use spell checks. Another element to keep your eye on is your Boolean search terms, and, or, and not. Are you using them properly, not using them at all? Do you need help using them? Searches can get complex, and we know that not everyone is accustomed to advanced search tactics. Contacting a librarian can be a great idea when you need assistance generating sophisticated searches with and, or, not, truncation, wildcards, proximity searching, and more. Sometimes you're just not in the right database. We may be working with you or your classmates and be touring a particular database, but maybe that's not ideal for your topic or someone else's. Let us know. By speaking to a librarian, saying you're having a tough time finding sources, we will often be able to better advise you individually on what database may lead to more success, particular keywords, or other search strategies to try. In the case of this topic, we ended up trying Google Scholar, since it aggregates a wealth of library-subscribed databases, and we thought it might be easier to 1. Get the lay of the land, and 2. Look through snippets where our search terms were coming up, which leads me to another troubleshooting option. Looking in Google Scholar, you can see whether the topic appears in a particular journal or database repeatedly. Sometimes the source can surprise you and lead you in unexpected but useful directions. Google Scholar also shows small sections of your results called snippets that display your search terms in bold so that you can see context, and that can lead to more or stronger keywords. And that's exactly what ended up working in this situation. We discovered somewhere in the text of a snippet the word sub-baccalaureate. And we thought, hey, what's that? And realized that that was the term we really needed to bring far more precision to our search terms and far more relevancy to our search results. Employing these strategies will often lead to more successful searches, and as a result, you'll accumulate sources for your research as well as a wealth of search skills that can come in handy far beyond your coursework. GA ships, job searches, Meet for your resume or CV, Lit Review for your dissertation, and more. Sometimes, though, you can try all this and still struggle to find what you seek. That's a great time to engage a super powerful tool that comes with your being part of the University of Memphis community. You've got librarians on your side, and you can reach out to us through chat, email, phone, in-person visits, and even one-on-one research consultations. Your professor may even recommend you talk to a particular librarian who may work with your course, department, and/or subject matter. Remember, while you're in training for your field, ninja-like search skills are part of our training, and a training that you can capitalize on and learn from until you, too, have developed formidable search techniques. Either way, we look forward to working with you as you progress through the University of Memphis and invite you to be in touch.